Good evening, guys. Welcome to Falcon Radio Theater. I'm David Matsui.
And I'm Walter Lutsch.
And we're your hosts for the evening. Welcome to the show. Tonight our special guest is Elizabeth Hoover.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you for listening in tonight, and we hope you enjoy the show. So real quick, before we get started, we wanted to give you guys a quick idea of who we are if you haven't caught the last couple of weeks. We are Falcon Radio Theater. We are starting up a different kind of radio show here at KSBU, one we feel isn't being done at the moment, and we wanted to add. Plus, me and my co-producer here have always enjoyed things on the radio and getting to work with theater productions and the like, and we felt this was a great opportunity to be able to do that, and we wanted to try and stretch our voice acting talents a little bit, as well as give you guys a kind of a unique experience.
And as part of that experience, we're looking for people who are writers, and you've got stuff hiding in the dusty recesses of your hard drives that you think is pretty neat, but hasn't really been seen by anybody. This is a place to produce those things and get your work out there so you guys can see what's see your stuff out there and have people listen to it. And also, for those of you who like to act and you want to try out some new, quirky, different roles or build up your acting resume, this is the place to come and do that. We've got tons of parts for you to come and try. So if you've got a script or if you'd like to sign up as an actor, then shoot us an email at falconradiotheater@gmail.com.
Or if you just don't feel like you've got that writing talent, or if you feel like you just can't quite get your voice to do what you want it, we'd love to have you in as a listener, and you can follow our maniacal musings at facebook.com/Falcon Radio Theater. That's theater with an R-E, not E-R.
That old-timey spelling.
And with that, we'll get into our first play for the evening.
Our first production is That Bitter Aftertaste by Walter Lutsch.
Alan, a lanky man in his 20s wearing glasses, enters a restaurant in central Paris, wearing a thick coat. Both hands are in his pockets, the left of which is possessively clutching something. The establishment is almost entirely empty, save for a couple near the front who are eating quietly, and Daniel, the man Alan is here to meet, in the back. Alan waits to be noticed by one of the restaurant staff, before impatiently calling out to one of the waiters, cleaning a nearby table. "Dobson party?"
Second to last booth on the left, monsieur. Would you like a menu?
"No, thank you. I know what I'll be ordering." Alan makes his way toward the back of the restaurant. He spies Daniel and waves hello with a smile. He gets to the booth, takes off his coat, and slings it towards the back of the booth before taking his seat across from his friend. "Starting without me, buddy?"
Just with the wine. Try some. It's good.
"I'll just have water for now. You know me. I always like my wine after the meal."
I know.
The waitress approaches and addresses Alan.
Monsieur, what would you like tonight? The special tonight is a filet and mushroom sauce.
"Well, actually, I think I'll just have the lasagna, please."
Of course, your mushroom filet will be out shortly, monsieur.
Thanks.
Mushrooms. Blech. I don't know how you can stand the taste of them.
Well, sometimes you need to eat things that are good for you, even if you'd really rather not. Just like sometimes you've got to do things that might be considered bad by everyone else, even though they're good for you.
I don't think mushrooms are quite the same.
That depends on how many mushrooms we're talking about eating, doesn't it?
Enough. Alan reaches into his jacket pocket, and after stealing a glance around, takes out a small brown package, which he hands under the table to Daniel. Daniel examines the package under the table. His eyes widen, and he stows the package quickly inside his suit pocket.
More than enough mushrooms to last me a lifetime.
Daniel raises his glass and toast.
To good friends, good meals, and a lifetime no longer having to eat or do anything we don't want to anymore.
Alan raises his water glass, and the two of them drink to their future. The waitress arrives with Daniel's meal.
Here you are, monsieur, your mushroom filet.
The waitress walks away immediately after setting down Daniel's plate. "She didn't even ask you if you needed anything else."
I think that's how the French are. They're just rude.
"Yeah, she practically ignored me when I came in." The two men eat in silence for a minute or so. Alan picking at the cone of fries while Daniel digs into his steak. Oh, I hope the lasagna's good.
The steak is. Even the mushrooms aren't so bad.
You still aren't getting me to try them. After another minute, the waitress approaches Alan with a plate of lasagna. She sets it down without preamble and heads back to the kitchen. Alan shakes his head and begins eating. Hey, this is pretty darn good.
What did I tell you? This place is fantastic.
You know, Libby has been bugging me to get her lasagna for her birthday. I think I might order some to bring home. I'm glad we've got our own jet and landing strip. Customs would never let me through with it.
Libby? Her birthday's coming up soon?
Yep, 2 days from now.
Pity.
Daniel sets down his knife and fork and leans back in his seat, staring at his plate, his face suddenly morose. What?
Oh, the steak. Most of it's a bit too seared for my taste. I'm afraid I've lost my appetite.
That's too bad. Do you want to send it back?
No, I'll just eat the French fries.
Okay. Hey, you know, I already got Libby a souvenir from that Triumph Arch thing.
Arc de Triomphe.
Oh, yeah. Right. The Arc de Triomphe. Daniel stares off into space, distracted and somber.
You know, I don't blame the chef for letting my steak get a little charred. Maybe it was something he had to do. Maybe even though he didn't want to, he got a call and had to let that happen. Maybe he didn't have much of a choice.
Well, he still should have been watching his food.
Right.
Daniel shifts in his seat a bit, glancing around at the rest of the establishment. He feels the outside of his inner pocket self-consciously. While Alan finishes eating, he puts down his knife and fork with a sigh and wipes his mouth with the napkin. I think I'll save the rest of this for the trip home. We've got to leave soon to make the plane anyway, right?
The plane leaves in half an hour. Better to leave the area quickly.
I hear you, buddy. Now that I'm done, I can try the wine. Daniel comes out of his reverie, breaks into a wide smile, and redirects his attention at Alan.
We've done well, haven't we?
We sure have. We work good together. Daniel raises his wine glass again for another toast, and Alan mirrors him.
Our friendship has turned out like this wine. Colorful, exciting, robust.
It's good. But there's that bitter aftertaste right at the end.
Exactly.
Alan begins to choke, holding his throat. Daniel stands slowly, buttoning his suit jacket and shedding his entire American tourist facade. He moves quickly and more purposely as he quietly drags Alan and his coat down to the floor underneath the table, hidden from sight, talking to him as he does so. He is now speaking in a more purposeful and intelligent English, with a hint of European accent.
I sincerely wish that I could have found a better way to end this. I feel like I'm letting you down, especially after all you've done for me.
Daniel straightens, takes his seat again, adjusting his tie.
I've enjoyed our friendship, Alan, rather like I enjoyed this meal. But at the end, I guess someone always has to pay the check.
Alan dies with a quiet gasp. Daniel sighs, takes a sip of his wine, and signals the waitress.
Garçon!
The waitress approaches with the bill and notices that Alan is missing.
Will your friend be returning, or should I box up his meal?
No, I think the wine was a bit hard on him. I'll just take the check. But could you keep the table open for perhaps half an hour, just in case?
Certainly, monsieur.
Daniel lays the appropriate payment on top of the bill. He gets up, taking one last look down at the body of Alan, shakes his head in dismay, and leaves. The end.
That was a production of That Bitter Aftertaste by Walter Lutsch. The parts of the narrator and Daniel were played by David Matsui, the part of the waitress was played by Elizabeth Hoover, and the part of Daniel was played by Walter Lutsch.
For our next play, we've got God and the Devil Meet for a Business Lunch by Dwayne Yancey.
The devil is waiting at the hostess's stand of a restaurant around lunchtime. Tapping his foot anxiously, he keeps looking over his shoulder, as if afraid to be recognized here. The waitress arrives, and he is visibly relieved. Smoking or non?
Smoking, by all means.
Right this way. Table for one? The waitress leads him toward a table, while the horned one continues to check over his shoulder.
I'll be having someone join me.
Very good. Can I get you something to drink?
Whiskey, straight up.
Very good. Here's your menu. You can look over while you wait. The waitress leaves to get his drink, and the devil peruses the menu.
Man, look at these prices.
God enters the restaurant, sidling up to the table, while the devil is still reading the menu.
Ah, there you are. Speak of the devil, eh?
Where did you come from?
You know better than to ask me a question like that.
You know what I mean.
I've been here all along. From the beginning.
Oh, don't give me that.
It's true. You can look it up.
Look, I don't like this any more than you do. Let's just get on with it, shall we?
So, where did you find this little place? I like what they've done with the decor.
It's hell, I tell you. Trying to find a place where we can get together without, either of us being recognized. Bad for the image,
Bad for your image, maybe. I get credit for this sort of thing. Sort of like going into the lion's den.
Oh, not that again.
The waitress returns with Lucifer's drink, and she smiles at the newcomer to the table, handing him a menu. Ah, I see your friend is here.
Not friends. We're acquaintances.
Don't listen to him. We go a long way back. Back to the beginning, practically.
That's enough.
We're associates.
You fired me.
You brought it on yourself.
Can I get you something to drink?
Just water for me.
Very good. I'll give you a few minutes to look over the menu.
Just water?
What? I like water.
Oh, you're not going to pull another one of those little tricks, are you?
It's not a trick.
If I did it, it'd be called a trick.
Actually, I think you're confusing me with someone else. But I'll take it as a compliment anyway.
Hell, I never get credit for anything. All I ever get is the blame. He made me do it.
Can I help it if I have a better publicist? I'm still on all the bestseller lists,
So what was it anyway? Merlot? Bordeaux?
Don't worry about that.
I'll bet it was Merlot. What? I like the details. You know what they say.
Actually, Einstein said I was in the details.
And what does he know?
He knew that I didn't play at dice.
The waitress returns, interrupting their banter, and hands God his glass of water. Here you go.
Bless you, my child.
You're welcome. Do you gentlemen know what you'd like?
I'll have the blackened chicken.
And you?
The fish. Broiled.
Very good. These won't take long. I'll be back with some bread.
All right. So listen, we have some business to discuss.
All right. So what is on your mind?
I have a business proposition for you.
A deal. I don't know. You know what they say about making deals with you.
Look, I've been thinking. This whole rivalry thing, I don't think it's working out for either of us.
It's working very well with me with the Baptists. But go on.
The way I see it, you owe me one.
I owe you. What's with that? The wages of sin don't pay well enough these days. I think not.
No, listen, hear me out. Look, I'm not hurting. You must admit I do a pretty good job attracting market share on my own.
I'll give you your due.
But you still need me. See, the way I look at it, I'm really doing your dirty work for you. That whole eternal punishment thing, if you didn't have me to deal with the wicked, you'd have to invent me.
You've got a point there.
Thank you.
Get it? A point?
Ha, very funny. If you knew how sick and tired I was of that.
Sorry. Forgive me? Wait. That's my business. You just go on. You were saying.
I'm saying that I'm really sort of like, well, the head of your correctional system. Sort of like the ultimate maximum security.
And you do a very good job with it, too, I must say.
Thank you.
So what are you proposing?
A merger.
Out
a
of the
partnership.
Out of the question.
Or at least some sort of formal subcontracting relationship.
Let me get this straight. You want me to pay you for looking after the people I condemn to hell?
It seems only fair, doesn't it?
I don't know. It may not look too good, PR issues and all that. You know me. I'm all about PR.
We wouldn't have to make it public. It could be, an under-the-table sort of arrangement.
A kickback? You're offering me a kickback?
Shh, we're just talking about compensation for services rendered. Nothing wrong with that, is there? Just the whole render under Caesar thing, right?
I suppose.
And you do believe in tithing, don't you? 10% of everything should go back to you, right?
I guess, but that would mean...
The waitress returns and interrupts them apologetically. I'm sorry, we're all out of the blackened chicken.
Curses.
Try the fish. I'm sure they have plenty of fish.
Oh, what the hell. All right, but blackened.
Yes, sir.
Very blackened.
Sure thing, coming right up.
So as I was saying...
I don't know. My people might not understand that sort of thing.
Your people?
Yeah, my people.
Your chosen people, you mean?
Well, if you want to put it that way.
How the hell else am I supposed to put it?
Well, you've got another point there. Get it? Another point? How'd you ever think of that whole pitchfork thing anyway? I've always wanted to ask you that.
Forget the blasted pitchfork, will you, for God's sake?
So just how would that work, I wonder, if I forgot it for my own sake?
God!
Is there something eating at you? Come on, out with it. You can tell me anything. Confession is good for the soul, you know.
How come I never get to choose my own people? Look what I'm stuck with. The dregs of society. The scum of the earth.
It's hell, isn't it? Oh, that's another good one.
The waitress returns, carrying a basket. And here's some bread.
Just 5 loaves?
Oh, there's plenty more where that came from. Just ask, and I can bring you some more.
Bless you.
Your order should be out shortly. I'll go check on it for you.
Hey, what about her?
What about her?
Is she on your list?
Let me check.
God reaches into his robes and pulls out a smartphone.
You have to check?
Well, there are a lot of people to keep track of. You know, these new Galaxy phones are a miracle. I don't know how I ever got anything done without them.
Stone tablets.
I'm sorry? What did you say?
Nothing. It was nothing.
Let's see. Ah, here we go.
So, she's in there?
Oh, everybody's in there.
Everybody?
I've just got to call up her file. This shouldn't take but a second.
You've got a file on everybody in the whole world doing... in that thing?
I bought the deluxe model, additional memory, and an extended warranty. When you're planning on working through eternity, it helps to have an extended warranty, I've found.
Tell me about it. My cell phone died on me last week, and you know what they told me? The warranty had run out the week before.
Ah, here she is.
So what's it say?
Maybe.
Maybe?
I've got her down as a maybe.
And what does that mean?
It means, well, she's a maybe.
Maybe she'll get into your place? Maybe she'll get sent to mine?
Exactly.
Details, man!
Well, let's see. She's taken my name in vain a few times.
All right.
Mostly when the kitchen messed her order up, though.
Oh.
Still, it counts.
Yes. What else?
Oh.
What is it?
Oh, no.
What?
I don't know what it is about that 7th commandment. It just doesn't seem that hard to me, you know?
Let's see. 1, 2... Oh, adultery. Yes, one of my personal favorites.
And then there's the 10th one. That coveting thing gets 'em every time.
Yes, I know. What about the 4th? She must have broken the 4th sometime.
Yeah, she had some Sunday shifts.
What did I tell you? That day of rest thing? Take my word for it, there's no rest for the wicked. I'm on call 24/7.
Of course, her intentions were good.
And I've got a well-paved highway leading straight to my place, too, with all those good intentions.
I suppose you're right. Still, it's nothing she can't work off.
Work off? You mean like those extra pounds on her thighs?
I was thinking maybe some prayer, some good works.
And how about some speedier service while you're at it? You know, customer service these days is going straight to hell.
Well, whose fault is that now, I wonder?
And what's that supposed to be?
You don't think that devil-may-care attitude of yours has anything to do with it now, do you? Sets a bad example for the troops.
The waitress comes back, carrying a tray with both their orders. Ah, here we go. The blackened fish for you, sir, and the broiled for you. You ordered these just in the nick of time. These were the last 2 fish we had. They're quite popular this week. I'll get you a refill on that water. Now, is there anything else I can get you?
What kind of fish is this?
It's our catch of the day.
And that would be?
I believe it's sole.
Excellent.
Not that kind of soul.
Darn.
Well, I'll check back with you in a bit.
So I really think you ought to consider my proposition.
Let's just eat, my friend. The end. That was God and the Devil Meet for a Business Lunch by Dwayne Yancey. The part of the waitress and the narrator was played by Elizabeth Hoover. The part of the devil was played by Walter Lutsch. And the part of God was played by David Matsui. Now, real quick before we get to our last play for the evening, we wanted to have you guys wanted to do a quick word from our sponsors, so we'll be right back with you.
Are you running out of money with which to pay the overpriced neighborhood kids to clear your driveway of snow? Is your spouse always ranting at you for not doing it? And just when you finish, it snows all over again? Not anymore with this stupendous spring-loaded driveway. Just throw the stupendous spring-loaded driveway over your existing driveway and let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. With a quick flick of the switch, all that snow will be gone and your driveway will be completely clear. The stupendous spring-loaded driveway has helped millions of people, including Winifred Abel.
The neighborhood kids used to come and charge me $30 to clear my driveway. They are such nice kids. I remember when I used to shovel driveways, but now I have the springy driveway and I can do it myself. Although sometimes my arthritis gets so bad I can't flip the switch.
Have a look, ma'am.
Who are you people again? You remind me of my grandson. He wet his bed until he was 12 and...
The days of laboring or paying too much will disappear along with all that snow, thanks to the stupendous spring-loaded driveway.
The ASOTV Corporation is not responsible for launching vehicles, children, pets, and other things off to who knows where. Also, they're not responsible for the snow landing on your house and collapsing the roof or just landing back in the same spot. Finally, they're not responsible if you leave the switch somewhere easy to reach and one of your kids starts going crazy with it. Phew, that's a lot. And that was a word from our sponsors over at the ASOTV Corporation. And now on to our last play for the evening.
Which will be a production of Death Takes the Train by D.M. Larson, courtesy of freedrama.net.
On this quiet evening, three friends sit together in a train car, chatting away merrily. The train has stopped to let more people on, and as groups shuffle through the car, a lone figure sits in the far corner of the car. The figure wears a robe with the hood pulled in front of his head, so that his face is in shadow. In his right hand, he carries a giant sickle. The friends ease their chatting, staring at the hooded figure for several minutes. Finally, one of them speaks. "Is that who I think it is?
I think so.
What's he doing on this train?"
How do you know it's a he?
"Death is always a guy."
Always.
"I think so."
But he's wearing a dress.
Yeah, it's more of a moo-moo.
"Robe. It's a robe. Guys can wear robes."
After a shower,
Or if they're some kind of judge.
Death is like a judge.
"True. I see what you mean."
A justice of the peace?
The Justice of Rest in Peace.
Nice one.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So what's he doing here?
He's got a client, I guess.
"One of us?"
No, he's probably on his way somewhere.
Why is Death taking the train?
His winged horse of death didn't have the guts to get there. Get it? Because it's a skeleton horse? No guts?
Please don't explain the joke. It's not funny if you have to explain it.
Jeez. I'll just let Mitch make all the jokes then.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Death taking the train doesn't make any sense. Doesn't that take too long? Wouldn't Death be in more of a hurry?
Maybe not. Modern medicine is keeping people alive longer. Maybe he's not in a hurry anymore.
Maybe he's on a tight budget like the rest of us. The bad economy is affecting even life and death.
I like Mitch's theory better.
Of course you do.
Mitch has a point. People aren't dying as quick as they used to, or as often. Modern medicine can keep people alive for years beyond what normally would kill them.
So death saves money and takes the train.
And he's being very environmentally aware, too. Trains burn much less energy than planes and cars. Death is doing his part to help the Earth.
Wouldn't death like pollution?
Not necessarily. Maybe he likes the natural order of things. Maybe he's doing what he can to help restore the balance that people offset through technological advancements.
Well said.
Thank you.
I wonder where Death takes people anyway.
To the HE double hockey sticks place down below.
What if they're good?
Oh, he takes him to heaven.
Wouldn't that be an angel then?
We're all assuming there is a heaven.
I'd like to think there is.
It's nicer that way, thinking there's someplace good we go if we live a good life, and that bad people are punished for being bad.
But who decides what is good and what is bad?
God?
What if you don't believe in God?
That's okay. God still believes in you.
I'd feel a whole lot better facing death if I knew for sure.
Well, you know, just the fact that we see death sitting over there gives me hope that there is something more beyond life.
Wow, who would have thought seeing death would make you feel hopeful? That's some serious optimism you got there, Mitch.
I wonder if he'd talk to us. I'd love to ask him about all this. Life after death, good versus evil.
He doesn't look like much of a talker. And what if he speaks Latin? Or Ewok or something like that?
Ewok.
I'm just making a point that he might be from somewhere else.
I go with Latin over Ewok.
Or maybe he has a universal translator that helps him understand all languages.
That would make sense.
But it doesn't. None of this makes sense. Doesn't it strike you as weird that we've never seen death before?
True, I've never seen him before.
Wait, you don't think that means
What happened to Mr. Optimism?
he jumped the train?
Do you think he could be here for us?
All of us?
The friends pause. They look at Death, and then at each other nervously. They are quiet a moment as they think. Do you think the train could be crashing or something?
That's the only way I could see all of us dying.
Should we warn the conductor?
We could get off at the next station.
Or maybe we should face death, head on, without fear.
Bravely, Mitch stands up and takes a few steps toward Death. His bold steps quickly slow as he gets closer. All of a sudden, Mitch starts to choke and stumble. Mel rushes over to him and helps him back to their side of the car. What happened?
It's like he couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Like the air around him is deadly.
So much for talking to Death.
Are you okay, Mitch?
Remind me not to do that again.
What's the matter? Did he talk you to death? Death got your tongue?
Not funny, Mel.
Come on. My joke's that bad?
Let's just say they bore me to death.
Funny.
Jealous?
No.
Yeah, well, remind me not to do that again.
What did he do to you?
Nothing directly, I think. It's like Mel said, the air around him is deadly or something.
Maybe Death farted or something.
Care to go see?
No. That's okay. So what are we gonna do?
How far away is the next station? We could get off.
Wait. What if we're already dead? And Death is the conductor?
We could test that theory at the next station. Let's get ready to get off.
You all can get off, but I'm staying. I have somewhere to be, and I can't be late.
What if Death is here for you, though? Then you won't make it anyway.
If he's not here for us, then we waste a lot of time by getting off.
I think I'd rather gamble with being late than dead.
Well, here's the next station. I'm going. Mel jumps out of his seat, but the train's sudden stop causes him to fall down.
Wait until the train stops, you idiot.
I'm not dead, am I?
Afraid not. Come on, Mitch. Please?
I can't miss my kid's birthday. I promised her. She's counting on me.
Okay, Mitch. Take care of yourself.
I will.
Mel smiles back at Mitch before he and Tina exit the train. Mitch turns his gaze towards Death.
So, Death, what's it gonna be?
After a pause, Death gets up. He begins to walk towards Mitch. It begins to shake and quiver as Death slowly draws nearer and nearer and nearer, and then Death passes him by. He doesn't even turn back to look at Mitch as he walks off the train. Mitch leaps up and rushes to the window, searching the crowd for his friends. His eyes grow wide and his lips tremble as his breath begins to cloud the train window. The end.
That was a production of Death Takes the Train by D.M. Larson, courtesy of freedrama.net. The parts of the narrator and Mel were played by David Matsui, the part of Tina was played by Elizabeth Hoover, and the part of Mitch was played by Walter Lutsch. And that's all we've got for you guys tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we definitely hope to see, well, actually we won't see you, but have you listening again next week.
We also like to give a quick thank you to Kat Miller for her song at the intro, Bells, and also a quick thank you also to our special guest this week, Elizabeth Hoover, for joining us on the show.
Keep listening to the show.
And we'll hear from you guys next week. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye-bye.